So do you know that there are millions of people who try their hand at YouTube every day? And out of that million, there are thousands of people who quit after a handful of videos. You want to know how I know this? I was one of those people. That's me. That's me. So I've tried being a YouTuber a couple of times over the last 10 years. I would have a great idea, post a couple of videos, and then I would stop. Never to post again until the next great idea that I would have. But with failing, as well as researching, I feel like I finally cracked the code on being a YouTuber. So here are 15 things I've learned about how to succeed on YouTube from what I failed at. Enjoy. I'm Rashod, I'm 37, and I'm building a multi-million-dollar content agency. So growing a following on YouTube is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, right? Nobody really tells you like how many challenges it is to actually grow a following on this platform. And like I said in the intro, I've actually tried this off and on for the last 10 years. I put out so many different styles of videos that it's crazy to really think about. I put out interviews, I put out just my work, I put out behind the scenes, how I've made certain things, video essays. I've pretty much done it all. So now that I actually have 2 YouTube channels, and even though my newer YouTube channel is still very low, I just wanted to kind of give you guys some game on some things that I've actually learned over these last 10 years just by failing on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first is stop having generic intros. So I'm a person that's about, let's get into the topic at hand as fast as we can. So, and when I say generic intros, I'm talking about, hey guys, this is Rashod Harris. Thank you for following my channel. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. There's a lot of channels that start to do this before you even say what the topic is about. I always tell people that I work with that you don't have to introduce yourself. People are on your particular channel. They know who you are. So there's really no need to kind of say, hey, I'm Shad, and once again, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Don't say that. Just get to the point of the topic of that particular video. Next, start videos with the hook. The hook is what is going to hook people into, I hate when people use the word in the definition, but what is going to grab people's attention as soon as you actually start the video. And so with me, what I like to do now is I like to start every video with a quick 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds of what the actual video is going to be talking about. That helps me kind of get straight to the point so you know exactly what we're going to be talking about in the video. Thumbnails are important. So over the course of the last 10 years, I've used random clips from the video. I've actually made thumbnails. I've actually made some bad thumbnails, and now I'm actually using Fiverr to make some pretty decent thumbnails. But what I realized is that thumbnails directly equate to how people see your video and what is going to entice them to actually click that video. So you need a good thumbnail to make sure that they click on your video. Next, if you're not sure what type of content to make, you can always do a list.
The thing is, like, everything is a list. This is some I think this is advice from like nonfiction writing. Fundamentally, every nonfiction book is a listicle. It's just like sometimes packaged up in a non-listicle kind of way. Atomic Habits is a listicle. The 4 Habits of Behavior Change. 4 Hour Workweek is a listicle. Everything is a listicle. Wow, at the end of the day.
Interesting. So Complex is very good about putting out lists, and it's crazy because they always get solid numbers and viewers on those particular lists. That same thing can actually translate over to YouTube. So if you actually put out a list of things that you learned, like this, you read a book, these are some things that you took away from it, that's a list. Even actually for me doing a challenge and saying like, hey, I created a digital product. These are the list of things that I actually did to actually do that. That actually helps out. Lists are easy for people to follow along. So just making a video that includes a list makes it a lot more digestible for people to actually follow along on whatever your story or journey is. Make sure with every video that you do, you give value. So I've done a lot of videos, and actually videos recently where it was a good concept, but people weren't being able to take anything from it. So what I would suggest is find a way of talking to a particular person, talking to your audience, and making sure that you give them something that they can actually take away from after they watch your video. So give value. Showing transformations make for great videos. So I've actually worked with a lot of fitness influencers, personal trainers, gyms in the last couple of years, and one of the things that always work content wise is showing something from beginning to end. So that could be be showing somebody who was fat and now they're all cut up. That could show in the real estate market, that could be something along the lines of you doing a house flip, you showing it from being run down to looking, you know, like a mansion. So whatever it is, just know that transformations are great visuals and a great piece of content to actually put on your YouTube channel. Another thing is people want to watch content that actually includes you. So I've posted content a lot where I'm not in the video. This could be some of my work. This could be video essays, and sometimes the video essays work, but when people come to your channel for you, then they need to see your face. So show up and show out. So this next one goes pretty much identical to the first one we said, which was stop having long intros or stop having generic intros. So this one is stop having long outros. So what I mean by long outros is, hey guys, thank you for watching this video. If you don't mind, please subscribe, please follow, please hit the bell button. Like, stop doing all that stuff. Just say like maybe like one quick line and get on out. Your retention starts to drop as soon as you kind of get into that, you know, that outro spiel. So exit the video as soon as you can. And before we move on to the next thing that I learned, I just want to let you guys know that if you're somebody who's actually having a hard time coming up with content for your YouTube or your social media, I recently put out an ebook called 30+ Killer Content Ideas that you can actually use to promote your business. So that pretty much includes 30 great ideas that I've actually studied and researched and actually implemented into either my content or my clients' content that has actually helped them gain momentum, increase their follower count, as well as increase the number of views and accounts reach on their social media and YouTube channels. So if that's something that you actually struggle with, go to the description and actually click that link to actually download that free ebook today. The next one is something that probably everybody knows, but you have to be consistent. Like I said in the intro, I've actually started so many great series of videos and would start to build momentum, and then I would feel like I'm wasting my time and I would stop. I actually had a series during COVID where I actually just documented me actually helping people create followings, and that was actually getting me a lot of traction, and then I stopped just because it was a lot of work. So I say all this to say, if you have a great idea and you're posting 5 or 10 videos of it and you see that momentum slowly climbing, even if it's, you know, it's gaining like 5 extra viewers, stick with it, because consistency is the thing that's going to actually work out for you in the long run, and it's going to be the thing that's going to actually build your channel. So be consistent. This next one is something I did not know until I started to see it work on my old channel. Your old catalog will continue to get views for you. So like I said, I've been posting on YouTube for the last 10 years, and I've had videos over, you know, the last 10 years that have gotten a lot of views. That could have been a music video I did 9 years ago. That could have been a video from an event that I shot 8 years ago. It could be a video that I posted, you know, 2 or 3 years ago that has still consistently got views. But those will automatically lead to you being able to monetize your channel, because if these videos are continuously getting thousands of views every month, that's ultimately just going to help you become more profitable in your YouTube channel. To piggyback on the consistency, my next one is whatever you decide to do, just stick with that. So if you have a video podcast, just stick with doing that. If you are doing behind the scenes of your shoots, stick with that. If you're doing video essays, stick with that. One thing that I actually regret from what I've actually been doing on YouTube is I've done so many different things, like I said before, that when you actually come to my older channel that I have, it's kind of hard for you to find what this channel is about, because I pretty much switched up the whole platform probably after about every 10 to 20 videos. So you can't really get into a groove, because once you go there, the video that you actually came there for, I might not have been creating any more videos like that. So it doesn't make you want to stick around. So I say all this to say, whatever video that you actually are passionate about and that you really want to put out on your YouTube, just stick with doing that for the long haul. This next one is something that I've actually been doing recently and that has actually been helping me out a lot. And that is, after every video that you post, find one tweak in that video find something that you don't like and make sure that you fix it for your next video. So I actually have all of my ideas on the wall right here. So from my video that I posted about where I DM'd 100 small businesses, one of the things that I learned was add B-roll and other scenes to your video. I felt like that particular video was lacking in that. So I made sure with my next video, which was where I used AI to create 50 email newsletters, that I actually had a lot of B-roll in it. So with every video that you do, look at it, see what works, see what doesn't work, and just find 1 or 2 things out of that video that you can actually tweak going forward to your next video. And do that with every video that you put out. Whew, I'm saying a lot. But if you're liking this video so far, go ahead and just give me a thumbs up just to let me know, if this is the type of content that you want to see from me going forward. My next thing is something that's also very important to me right now, and that's create a system around how you actually create your videos. Even though I'm a creator, I don't believe in trying to be creative at every little thing. I'm all about understanding the things that I'm actually doing with the content that I put out, as far as my personal content, the content I produce for my clients. Instead of trying to recreate the wheel every single time, I wrote down all my processes, all the workflows for everything that I do, so I can actually make sure I keep with that same workflow for every video. And that allows me to be able to move faster as well as cover all my bases when it comes to the content that I'm putting out. All right, I got 2 more. My next one is add in B-roll sound effects and text and graphics on the screen during your video. The reason this is important because just watching me straight on like this could get very boring for 5, 8, 10, 12, 15 minutes. But adding in different things such as a bell right here, or a picture of yourself right here, or words coming across the screen right here can definitely help with just liven up your video. You should be doing it all throughout your video, but specifically if you have points where it gets kind of, long, you're doing a lot of talking, then add one of those particular elements in your video to kind of help jazz it up a little bit. My last one. Hopefully this video ain't too long. Interviews and podcasts are easy pieces of content to make. The only problem with that, which I've ran into, is that people won't actually come to your channel for you. They'll come just for that particular podcast or how you actually conduct your podcast or interviews, but they don't really care too much about you. So I actually had a couple series called Interviews with a Rebel, where I would interview different business professionals, entrepreneurs, creatives, and people would come to that particular series just for whoever I was interviewing. So those numbers for that kind of fluctuate a little bit up and down because people weren't coming to my channel for me, they were coming for whoever I was interviewing. So if you decide to go that route, just keep that in mind and maybe think about ways of incorporating more of you or your personality into your content outside of just interviewing somebody at that particular time. That was a lot. That was a lot of talking. So I got through all 15 of my things that I learned. But if I had to narrow that list down to the things that are most important, I would definitely say make sure you're giving value in every video. Like, that's super important. As well as just be consistent. I feel like if you do those things, if you're consistent and giving value, then your channel will definitely grow because people can get something from every video that you put out, as well as they know that, if you're dropping a video on Tuesday, they know they can come back next Tuesday and you're going to drop another video. So those are my major 2 things, is just be consistent and give value. And I know for sure, because I'm actually doing that now, that your channel will grow.